In this video, we're going to show you how to build a land flipping business, even if you have no money. Now, this isn't one of those ridiculous clickbait videos. We're going to actually show you exactly how you can get your deals funded and start flipping land with zero money out of pocket. What's going on, guys? If you're new here, my name is Sumner Healey. I run a company called landinvestor.co. We teach folks to build wildly profitable land flipping businesses. In the last 18 months, I've done a little over $2.2 million in raw land sales all on the internet. And I make these videos to document my journey and hopefully help others along the way. Now, there's such a misconception when folks are first getting started in this business that you need to come into the game like Daddy Warbucks and have a war chest of capital at your disposal. And yes, when you're first starting out, I do believe that you should be personally funding the deals. But as you grow and as you build a track record and as you get better at identifying opportunities within the world of flipping land, you will start to realize that there is money out there on the sidelines waiting for a fantastic deal to come along. In fact, there is more money out there than there are opportunities. And so if you can hone your skills of actually going out there and finding phenomenal deals where you're truly buying at a discount, you're buying equity, there's many ways that you can actually go and get funding. So what we're going to discuss in this video are the most common strategies that folks use to get their deals funded. And this isn't something that's theoretical. This is something that we do within our business. This is something which the vast majority of folks that are in the world of flipping land do. In fact, this is how most of capitalism works. Most businesses find outside investors. This is nothing new here, but for whatever reason, people that come to this game seem to lack imagination and think that they need to fund every single deal themselves. And I was there too. I spent the first 2 years just slowly stacking my chips. The reality is, as you grow and build a team, as your marketing scales, as your data cost scales, as the cost in terms of just marketing the properties, the photo costs, the paid traffic, all that stuff starts to scale, you start to realize, holy crap, it requires a lot of money just to run the operations, and B, it takes way more money to actually go and acquire properties if you're looking to grow month over month, year over year, on and on and on. So there's really four main strategies that are used in the world of actually getting your deals funded in land investing. So the very first strategy is going to be creating a separate LLC and actually creating a true partnership. Now, that partnership might be you and multiple people, or it might just be you and one other person, and essentially you're going to be the operator, and one of those other folks is going to be essentially the investor or the money person. And then anytime there is a deal that comes along that you're going to have a partner on, you run it through that LLC. This would make a lot of sense if you got a long-term relationship with that investor or investors, and you plan on either doing all your deals with them or the vast majority of your deals with them, and you plan on doing it long-term. And essentially you are just giving them equity in that LLC, and so any deal that passes through, they're getting whatever that percent is that you guys have set up. The second option, and truth be told, this is the most common option that just about everyone is using in the space these days, is where you're actually giving up equity on a deal-by-deal basis. So opposed to giving up equity under that LLC or that quote-unquote company that you've created with that investor, you're giving up equity on a deal-by-deal basis. The reason that I like this is this means you can work with a multitude of different investors. You're not locked in with one person or a few people within that LLC. You can also negotiate the terms over time. So maybe you start with a partner and you're doing 50-50 equity, and then as you actually build up more of a track record, as you've made that investor more money, you might go 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, on and on and on. And then you can also flex that range of how much equity you're giving up on a deal-by-deal basis. Let's say you're bringing a deal to the table that's an absolute home run. It's a buy for 100, sell for 300, 400K. Look, you shouldn't be giving up 50-50 equity on that like you would for a property that you're buying for $10,000, selling for $20,000. The opportunity is too large there. And so in that case, you can renegotiate the terms on a deal-by-deal basis, which is fantastic. Another thing that's nice about this is most investors are going to be really comfortable with doing this. You're not necessarily getting married to that investor, right? Creating that LLC is much more of a long-term relationship. This is just one-off, hey, we'll do this deal together, and if it works well, we can do more deals. And typically what you're going to see is this equity partnership style that might lead into creating an LLC together, but this is usually where you're going to start, and most investors in this space are going to be most comfortable with the equity arrangement. Typically in this case, you'll just be taking title as tenants in common with the investor, so they will actually be on title with you, so they have some level of security as well. Now, the third option is raising debt. And debt is such a scary word. People start to shake in their boots. Look, at debt wielded in the correct way is one of the most powerful tools you can implement within your business. Because what you'll quickly realize is giving up equity on a deal by deal basis over time actually becomes one of the most expensive forms of capital you can introduce into your business. Opposed to paying a flat, 12%, 15%, 20% in terms of annual interest on the debt that you raise, you could be paying a much larger multiple if you're doing dozens or hundreds of deals and giving up equity every single year within those deals. Now, there are some risks with debt, mainly being that maybe you're not able to perform, the market shifts, you're not able to actually generate a true return on that property that's in excess of the interest that you're paying. That's a real crappy situation to be in. And so typically the debt structure is going to be more advanced. You're going to need a much larger track record. And in my opinion, that capital takes a little bit more work to go find out there, but it's certainly out there. Where really in the matter of a day or two, if you've got a great deal, you can go find equity partners like that. Raising debt is a long-term game. It requires you planting seeds and being really diligent in terms of building up a phenomenal track record and also deepening relationships with folks that might be ideal debt partners. I think one of the things about debt too is on a personal level, you need to have a ton of confidence that A, you're going to be in this game for the long term, and B, that you feel really confident in your skills to go generate deals and to consistently be doing deals in the marketplace, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you've got all this debt that you've raised and you're not actually out there exercising that capital. So this is a strategy that I would wait to introduce until you're much further along in your business. The fourth point, and this may even be potentially cheaper than raising private debt, is a line of credit, whether that's like a HELOC or it's just a line of credit that you have with the bank. In some cases, those rates can be lower than what you're going to find through private debt. The tricky thing is most people aren't in a position where they've got assets that they can get lending against. But if you are, it's a great way to scale your business with potentially the cheapest capital you can find out there. Now, although interest rates are fluctuating a ton right now in the US, still in most cases going to be wildly cheaper than what you might find by going and raising private debt. Now, one of the strategies that we see land investors doing is as they start building up a note portfolio where they have owner finance sales and they're getting monthly income from that, some smaller regional banks will actually lend against that entire value of the note portfolio. Now, of course, there's going to be a discount rate applied and they're not going to go and lend against the entire balance of those notes that are due to you. But you might be able to get 50%, 60%, 70% of that total value in terms of a line of credit, which could be huge for your business if you've got millions of dollars in notes receivable. And that might sound like a really daunting number, but as you've been in this game for a few years, building up a note receivable portfolio of a few $1,000,000 is entirely doable. Now, you're not going to walk into a Wells Fargo or a Chase Bank and go get lending against your land and note portfolio. You're going to have to go work with much smaller regional banks and ultimately start deepening relationships with them there. But far and away, this is one of the best ways that you can get capital into your business. I don't really know of any other solution where you can get capital at that same rate. So this is it, guys. These are the 4 main strategies that we use within our business that other land investors are using in their business in terms of actually getting their deals funded. Now, I would be lying if I told you that no money is involved in this process, right? They're not going to cover all of the operation costs of your business, i.e. mailing, i.e. data, photos of the properties, marketing for the properties. That stuff will be a cost that you will have to bear, but it's a much smaller cost relative to what you might be spending on an acquisitions budget on a monthly basis. For example, in our business, we'll spend anywhere between $250,000 to $300,000 a month just on acquisitions. We would quickly run out of capital to sustain that, but by having outside partnerships where we can bring money to the table, we can work in our area of genius, which is going and sourcing great deals, and then the money stuff can be taken care of by folks that have liquidity and are looking for opportunities. Hopefully what we portrayed here is your limiting excuses in terms of the money that you don't have to start your business are BS. Go sharpen your skills, learn how to source deals, and the money will come to you. If you guys are looking to build a wildly profitable land investing business, click the link down below. Our Land Investing Accelerator program goes live August 31st. If you guys enjoyed this content, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing. We've got tons of new content in the pipeline, entirely free, teaching folks exactly how to build a land investing business. Well, that's all for me today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay awesome.